I'm gonna do surprise video. I wasn't gonna do anything, but I got bored and I was watching Matt like hope super hard. Like, listen to this.
Wants to live like this, of course. You know, but
what? 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
You just focus on this, guys, and believe it. Believe it will happen. And they can't. It's just like the 7-Eleven job application.
Dude, look at this cope. This massive cope. Look, I'm not trying to be negative, all right? I'm just trying to be I want to tell you to look at this in a certain way, all right? Using Matt as my you know, a prototypical dummy, all right? But I'll explain real quick. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just goofing off because it's like 4 a.m. All right.
In my opinion.
No, what's his opinion?
Their power is very focused early on, and it wanes. It loses potency like a fart when the yellow.
See, he's basing off this idea from Blind 11 from 2001: A Space Odyssey. If you understand what I'm saying, I'm trying to talk in code here. All right, the event, the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers. All right, that's what he's referring to. So he's saying that their power wanes, they pack a punch. All right, but then it wanes. All right.
Elevator door opens, all right, or it's like letting air out of a balloon. It's going. They can't. They'll do it again. I'm not saying they won't. They'll do it. They'll bring something back this fall. The Transor Z, which is the Delta Burke Z.
Yeah, dude, look at the way we're goddamn talking. This is goddamn ridiculous. Like, I might talk about moving off platform, but I don't think that's even worth my time.
the new Marvel series on the Disney Channel, Loki is about variance.
Yeah.
And then now they have the Delta Burke, and they're gonna try to scare people and back into a mask. And the Northeast, people are already saying the Northeast. I haven't noticed it out, but I don't leave the house much. I haven't noticed it much here, but the Northeast going back into a mask.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't go outside. I'm gonna talk to you about what's been happening. All right, but I'm gonna talk about my Scooby-Doo research because I'm so good at Scooby-Doo.
Oh, they'll do it again. Of course they'll do it again. It's the opposite of what Bashir said in Oceans 11 and 12 and 13. It's like, you don't play that same gig. You don't play the same gig. I can't do the accent. I have to listen. You do a new gig. Don't play that same gig. I can't do it. Sorry. You play, but no, they play the same gig. This is the opposite in this case.
Yes.
They have to.
The best tricks are the old tricks because they always work. If it's worked once, it'll work twice.
Play the same gig and try to somehow keep it going for the 20-year cycle. But it's not going to be when it comes back again, it will have lost power.
You are absolutely wrong. All right. I find it very strange that Matt talks about things and he simply has no understanding. Like in this video, he's talking about how people mentioned the Baphomet before and the goat, the greatest of all time, with that Simone girl. Look, this is why they put out the goat, all right? What do you think? The Great Saturn conjunction is of Capricorn, the she-goat, all right? It can climb any mountain. So they were prepping up all this bullshit of the goat, the purple, because the goat can climb and build any mountain, all right? So I want to say like 19, 20 years ago, we know Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers was about Jupiter, all right? Jupiter is about expansion, about power. Now we're entering to Saturn, which is restriction. All right, this is if the thing 20 years ago was like a big punch in the face, this time we're going through the death by 1,000 cuts. All right, which is why I always said from the beginning, it's what is it? It's a molasses train disaster. This is gonna last for goddamn years, and because Matt doesn't go outside, he really does not have a grasp of what's going on outside. Okay, actually, I don't know if I should talk about that. I was going to explain something. U.S. to blah, blah, blah. Look, we know what's happening in other countries. They're going to look, New York City requires you to, I really can't talk about this. Look, New York City, France, Australia, what Japan's doing. I'm trying to say something. Okay, look, then we're going to look at CNN. Okay, let's see. Florida. They were talking about Southeast Asia before. Florida governor turns. Blah blah blah. Look, man, there's goddamn everywhere. Alright, this is a goddamn repeat. This is Clownverse University Part 2. Alright, we're in the second phase. I don't know if I want to criticize Matt real quick, but Okay, look, I'll talk about. Okay, well, I'll talk about this a little bit because I was gonna explain this. Look, Matt is very good at something which everyone should know. I mean, it's called rhetoric, the ability to persuade people using simple gimmicks and terms. That's why everyone gets him flack and accuses him of brainwashing people. But I mean, if he has catchy, fun terms like "it ain't that real," like stuff like that. Like my rhetoric would be like. I use it in a very specific way. I say things like, who cares? All right, I don't give a shit. Like stuff like that, because I'm trying to take credence away from it, because that's screen analysis. It doesn't really matter. But the point of this video is I want to display to people someone who's basically made it by my anonymous, whatever. Okay, look, quick Scooby-Doo, look, because I can see things happening. Look, the restrictions are back on. All right, I can't say too much, but I'm getting a bonus, and everyone knows that I'm a grocery store worker. So when I start getting bonuses and they start making me wear a mask again, and they start prepping me up, then I know something's going on, right? Hospital care visits, they won't allow them in the apartment. There's talks about mandates. Shit's moving real fast, real quick. Like, look up, I know it's different in other parts of the countries, but let's get this straight, all right? This is a goddamn, unstoppable tsunami, all right? Or do whatever. I mean, I don't really care to talk that much about this, but whatever, dude. Okay, all right. This is from my anonymous user, so I'll react to this real quick. But this is basically someone who's, I made my channel a year and a half ago because me and Chan were bored, and because of the first lockdown, there's probably gonna be another one, all right? But I made this channel because we were bored, right? Like, I've been through 3 groups of people. I want to demonstrate to people who moved on from my channel, because I'm actually very happy when people move on from my channel, because that means that I know you can quote unquote chill out and live your life. All right, but this is from an anonymous poster.
Hey Pink,
yeah,
it's me, Luigi.
It's me, Luigi. Right.
Hey Pink.
Okay, everybody knows it's who it is. All right.
Hey Pink, it's me, Luigi.
Yeah.
Pretty long message, but no rush if you're busy. I'm not expecting a video react or anything like that.
I'll do it because I'm bored. But I am busy. It is my work week, so.
Pretty long message, but no rush if you're busy. I'm not expecting a video react or anything like that. It's mostly just me telling you where I'm at.
Yep.
Hey Pink.
Armadoos Take 2 accidentally revealed who sent me this message. Okay, we're gonna go real quick.
This came across my radar the other day. The conspiracy theory iceberg explained for NPCs.
It's this video. It's not worth my time.
It's evidence of the FBI was to hunt down sympathizers.
It's basically just a guy going through the giant video image. I mean, well, it's an image of this iceberg and it layers the stacking conspiracy theories. Like, you see how long this goddamn thing is on the right side? But look, long story short, I mean, look, the only conspiracy that matters is the one against the spirit. You're trapped in a physical body. That is your Rubik's Cube to solve, to escape. A lot of this is distraction, by the way. I mean, I went through it just to get through the muck.
Structure with different tiers and specifics for what each tier means, but a lot of people
from what I found, a lot of people just like to chase the mystery, but they don't have any base fundamentals. Really, you should focus on fundamentals and the esoteric sciences. So none of this really matters to you. Okay. But I mean, look, people love chasing the piston breadcrumbs. They love following the white rabbit. All right, it's pretty fun. All right, like, I did it for years. Okay, let's keep going. But that video is not that important. But this is the general. I mean, this is something that we would have done, I want to say 5 years ago. It's not that relevant anymore.
The conspiracy theory iceberg explained for NPCs.
NPCs
LOL.
being NPCs.
Not worth a watch.
I mean, even the guy who was analyzing, he was a goddamn normie NPC. Like we live in some goddamn clown world, right? We live in a goddamn clown world where the conspiracy theory guy that's trying to expose the truth is literally Katy Perry's husband, Russell Brand. What? Are we in some sort of... I mean, those view counts are fake. I mean, are we in some sort of goddamn, like, bizarre world? Like, get out of here. The Queen Isis of the Illuminati. Her husband is basically the new Jonesy boy on YouTube. Like, are you serious? Like, please. I mean, I think we got Mandela into another reality.
Not worth a watch. BTW. They do mention some important topics, but it's basically so condensed, oversaturated, and simplified it all gets washed away together.
Yep. I mean, they're muddying the waters. They're trying to blend everything together. You can actually distinctly separate out which is real, which is disinfo, what is misleading, and what is real. Right?
I could totally see a normie watch this and dismiss it all collectively as garbage.
Look, I mean, that's why they love to tell you straight to your face. If you dismiss it, that's on you. All right. A lot of the stuff that the way the game is played, I mean, everybody is exposed to this at some point in their life. It's just a matter of whether they look away or dig deeper. All right. This is really every individual spirited being's choice to make. All right. Like people say, ignorance is bliss. It's true. All right. Look at how happy the normies and NPCs are, and look at how miserable the truthers are. All right. Like, I'm not miserable because I think this is goddamn funny. But, look, man, the average truthers, oh my god, doom and gloom, economics collapse. Oh my god, we're all alone. We are the only true-spirited human beings here. We're so much more special than everybody. Look at our solipsism and narcissism. Look, man, like, what? Like, insanity.
I could totally see a normie watch this.
Like, I'm not even joking. Look, if I did not have Audible, I would go nuts. All right, like I could give up all the YouTube, as long as I kept my Audible. Like that's all you really need. The value of your source is very important.
I could totally see a normie watch this and dismiss it all collectively as garbage, which was kinda the point, no?
Yes.
Lumping all the garbage they did.
Yeah, they muddy the water, so you throw the baby out with the bathwater. This is like I always said this. I mean, it's like hiding a needle in a haystack. All right, that's all this is. I mean, you want to find that lump of gold. It's in there, but you gotta dig through the muck.
Lumping all the.
Like this is what frustrates me. Matt always says, like, "We'll never find the answer." It's not that hard.
Lumping all the garbage they didn't want, Christian patriot truthers, etc.
The Christian patriot truthers are simply the most egregious. That's why I always make fun of them, because they will always be blinded by their religious dogma. I mean, that's why I have, even to this day, I'm on my tippy toes and on my best behavior because of the Christian patriot truthers. They're there as merely the front, as the basically scapegoat and straw man that the system wants to tag onto this, so you shoot the messenger. All right, maybe the messenger has to say something, but because of who is presenting it, you're not going to trust them if you're the average normie or liberal educated NPC normie. All right. Like think about it. Is a normal person gonna listen to Matt? Matt seems crazy. Is a normal person gonna listen to like Richie from Boston? He seems crazy. An obvious example is a Jonesy boy. Is a normal person gonna take Jonesy boy seriously? No, because they seem crazy. All right, this is done on purpose.
Lumping all the garbage they didn't want, Christian patriot truthers, etc.
No, dude. Christian patriot truthers. I mean, Isn't this called the boomer effect with social media? The easiest way to kill any social media is literally to let the boomers invade and act cool. Like that's what killed Facebook, right? The moment that you start associating the truth with the right-wing Christian patriot truthers, religious dogmatards, I mean, they're so easy to marginalize. All you have to do is call them a white supreme pizza lover. Look, man, I mean, look, it's too easy. It is too obvious. These people, they are so goddamn stupid. They do not understand how they are being gamed. And then what you do is you move them off platform to BitChute, where they radicalize each other. Because only neo-Yazis are commenting on BitChute channels, right? Which is why I will never go there, right?
Lumping all the garbage they didn't want, Christian patriot truthers, etc.
Yeah, it's too easy, bro.
Together and throwing it all out at once.
Yep, that's true. Throwing the baby out with the bath water. I mean, I highly recommend the book "The Storm Is Upon Us" by Mike Rothschild. Very good book. It pretty much explains how they all got lumped in together. Like, they were able to lump in the Bernie bros, the liberal leftist progressives, with the 17th letter of the alphabet cards. Clap, clap, clap. That's genius. They were even able to lump the women who, the crystal loving, cute, 17th letter of the alphabet imams, with this movement. I mean, they pretty much got a wide net, all right, and trapped everybody, and now they're segregating into different ghettos of the internet. The most obvious ghetto is, BitChute. I wouldn't go on Locals. Like, Locals is obvious what's going on because it's done by that Mike Rubin guy, and Jordan Peterson had a helping hand in it. I mean, look anywhere where it's no offense, so TradCon, white, right wing, that's a honeypot. It's a very long strategy, so that's why I really don't talk about it. So, because I'm too smart, and I'm way too smart, because there's a day coming where they unify everything into one party. All right,
together and throwing it all out at once. I'll be honest, I feel bad for the truther community, but you have to hand it to.
I used to feel bad for them, but they are really, they're probably the strangest, the worst community, the most despicable and sinister community I've ever come across. Far worse than the incels. But at least those guys are funny, right? These guys, they're egoic. They don't know how to work together. They're not smart. They're filled with religious dogmatism. They're solipsistic, narcissistic. A lot of them are actually wackos. A lot of the people who comment on them are, no offense, mentally unstable, or they say extremely dangerous things. I had to delete heinous comments off my channel before, and they don't know how to act in a proper way where they will be viewed by normal society. It's weird. I mean, they view each other's, competition. They're not really trying to help people. There's some sort of game or grift being run between each other. Then you got the shills and the agents. Well, I mean, they can be broken into three parts. A lot of them actually don't have jobs. They're running some sort of shill grift game through usually GoFundMe, Patreon, but then you have the problem where you have the shills and agents who are getting back funding through some sort of back grift, so like Noble Gold Investment or Patriot Food Buckets, and then they attack the other people who have to rely on different sources of income. And then you have the provocateurs who are in there saying that anyone who accepts money is a shill, which leads to an unsustainability problem, which causes a double whammy sword, because if you're telling the truth, then you shouldn't be charging money for it. Even if you have donations and a tip jar, you're just a shill sellout. And then you have the people who are actually trying to do it for honest reasons, but they're blinded by their crystal gazing or Bible thumping, religious fundamentalism. All right. Look, I've described it in a very specific way to tell you what's going on, all right? And they're there to confuse everybody and project the narrative, all right? Like, usually you'll have the top disseminators give marching orders and everybody follows around. A great example is anyone who talks about Tartaria and mud floods. Immediately write them off, all right? Those guys are disseminators of this info, all right? There's a lot to this. I usually don't talk about it because I can name out specific people. I mean, but be aware though, a lot of them are gone. They're off YouTube now. Most of them are on BitChute. So to me, there's no point in talking about this. But from everything that I've looked at, these people are either, I've said it before. I said it's either Paratown, USA, or Shell City. All right, and there's evil agents everywhere. It's not even worth my time to even talk about this. Like, I'm glad I don't have to deal with this like last year. Like, last year's a goddamn shit show. All right. But the problem is really that when money gets involved, right? Which is why I have to try to limit what I can and can't do to try to keep the sustainability of my channel going. Which is why I only have a tip jar or donation jar. But whatever, dude. I mean, people can do whatever they want, which is why I'm rebranding and not being a true channel anymore. Because I cannot deal with the behind the scenes wackiness that goes on with this. I'm actually more of an intellectual. I like sourcing and going through books to try to find a proper answer and deliver it in a very simple way that anyone can understand. No one actually wants to help you. No one wants you to get off the hamster wheel, because then it can't make the shekels. All right, I want you to move on with your life, even if it means that I lose shekels. And a lot of people have moved on from my channel. So, like, I got no problem. I mean, to me, I don't even know how long I can do this. Look, it's way too risky. Like, do you really think I can talk about this forever? No. I mean, the clampdown's coming anyways. I'd be lucky to last like 6 more months. I just do this because I'm bored, all right? And the skirting around using language is getting very annoying, all right? Like Harry Potter Magical Elixir, Lord of the Rings 2 Towers. I mean, how many more times can I say this? It drives me nuts, all right, to circumvent the annotations.
I'll be honest, I feel bad for the truther community, but you have to hand it to the not null. They really do play a masterful game.
Yep, clap, clap, not null, clap, clap. I mean, look, man, this is why Matt gets ripped on, all right? He says, oh, stop blaming it on people in the top or secret societies or all this, or just men and women. It's reality buttons. No, all right? On the other side of the table, it's probably like, 10 dudes directing a couple of think tanks, and they think and act just like me, all right? Look, man, if I was on the other side, I'd have you spinning 6 ways to Sunday, all right? And don't ever think that, oh, I'm spiritually better than these people. They were so off on a path of a trajectory of spiritual enlightenment. Look, man, you dumb idiots, all right? These guys know more than you. I have a lot more in common with them, all right? It's just that on this circle of the wheel, I am not on their side, all right? Even though I should be, all right?
I'll be honest, I feel bad for the truther community, but you have to hand it to the not null. They really do play a masterful game.
Yes, masterfully, sir.
It's all so simple for me to see now thanks to your work.
Yeah, dude, don't worry. I mean, look, in reality, I actually haven't said very much because I have to keep it very benign because I'm on YouTube. Can you imagine what I would be saying if I wasn't on YouTube and I could say whatever I want? I've done 159 public videos. I've deleted close to 50 to 75 videos, and I've done about 100 unlisted videos where I say things more openly, and I did that in a year and a half. All right. If you go through my channel and go through in a certain way and pay attention, then I say a lot without saying anything, especially in the beginning. So you can actually see that what I said in the beginning, I do not deviate towards the end, which is why we have the cycling process where I set up between 3 groups already. There's the first group with TN, Ruby Owl and Orby still here from 30 people, and also Vanessa was there. She was the first girl. Then I had the second group, that's Aline and some other people, and someone who doesn't like being named or shouted out. You know who I'm talking about. And then now we have the third group, all these people that came from Drew's channel. But I do feel bad for Drew, because he doesn't know how to circumvent the wording, and then he will always get struck down. But if you look at the other channels, I mean, Levette has 2 strikes, Matt has 2 strikes, Drew has strikes. That's how to keep you on a tight leash, right? I actually have 0 strikes, and I'd be very thankful if I could get some strikes so I could just quit.
It's all so simple for me to see now thanks to your work.
No problem.
They'll do anything they can to distract you from yourself, while at the same...
Yeah, iceberg truther videos, hell yes, dude. The distraction is endless, right? Analysis of the screen. Looking outside instead of looking within.
They'll do it.
Look, the X-Files, there's a post that says, the truth is out there. No, you idiot. The truth is in here, all right? And I'm pointing to the pineal gland and heart and the navel stomach, all right? And the truth is in here.
They'll do anything they can to distract you from yourself, while at the same time giving you all the answers you need right to your face.
That's why I can't blame them. They give you the answer all the time straight to your face. It's just that people don't read it, all right? A lot of people get upset by this. Oh, magical elixir, oh my god. Look, Spirits, look, I'm sorry for what happened to your father. He's a grown man. He made his own decision, all right? He's got to live with it, all right? Stop. People, they keep blaming, the not-noke or the screen when they should be blaming the individual who made that choice, all right? We have this idea of age of consent, all right? If you're dumb enough to, believe and just listen to this garbage and make a decision against your own self and own well-being, you have to live with those consequences. It's different if they force it upon you against your will. Then you have a karmic get-out-of-jail-free card, right? Like what's happening right now, they're trying to peer pressure everybody again with the magical elixir, all right? But if I have to take it by force because I need it to work or I'll be homeless, karmic get out of jail free card. As for this whole thing, I mean, look, man, I know a lot of people have taken it, right? I've already talked about it before. If you're over like 50, then you probably shouldn't, because I said it's a boomer remover. I know people who had like heart attacks, heart palpitations. I know one woman was on an oxygen tank. I know another guy who had his liver degenerated like 60% because he was a smoker. I know another woman had a heart attack. All these people have one thing in common, right? They're over 50 and they already have pre-existing conditions, or they were in negative health anyways, which is why I told people a while ago that I'm working out to get in shape just in case I have to take it. If you're young, it doesn't do shit to you, all right? If you're under 35, it's not going to do nothing to you, all right? If you're in the middle, it's going to try to give you health complications later, so that you become a customer for the hospital. Look, don't people understand what this is? This actually has to do with the propagation of the Titanic, the game of musical chairs, right? In reality, because of retirement age, this is all the boomers' fault, really. I mean, the system wants them to die. This is the same thing that happened in Japan. The system needs them to die to cycle out because they're past the retirement age. Like the retirement age 65, they're supposed to like hit up to 70 or 72 and then croak, but now they live to 90. They're sucking up the resources. They're becoming a glut because they're the largest demographic, even larger than millennials still, but they are basically a useless part of the demographic, sucking up resources and property, which is glutting up the system like sludge, right? They're like sludge in a watch. The system needs to cycle them out, and then the watch needs to be retuned. If you understand economics, then you just understand that this is merely a perpetuation of the watch model. But whatever, dude. I mean, that's why I don't really talk about economics. That's so obvious what's going on, because I always say that demographics is destiny, all right?
They'll do anything.
Like, that's why they want to keep locking everything down and offering money for babies, all right? They want people to goddamn breed, right? They need to breed.
They'll do anything they can to distract you from yourself, while at the same time giving you all the answers you need right to your face.
Yes.
It's one of the few forms of entertainment pastimes I have now trying to dissect their game.
For me, it's very obvious, very simple what's happening. But that's because I think like them, and I don't insult them. I don't discount their cleverness. I don't say that the truthers are the good guys and altruistic and they're the powerful spirited beings and this new agey dog shit stuff from Tony. All right, look, I source everything I say. Tony and Matt's new agey little friends, they are worthless. They are beyond worthless, because if you actually take them seriously, it'll cause negative effects down the road. And I can source that by pointing to books like, I always cite the Books of the Dead, Egyptian Book of the Dead, Manly P. Hall's an analysis of the Egyptian Book of the Dead and the metaphysics of the soul to explain this whole NPC theory. I mean, one day I have to do the NPC theory breakdown for real, so that people understand how this process works. Because sometimes I just don't think people get it, because they get polluted by the New Ages, which is really there to pacify you, to take away from your action. I have a lot of criticism. I usually hold it back, but I am running out of my patience just because I have to get ready for the reboot if I decide to reboot. All right, but I already have a budget set aside for the reboot anyway, so we can talk about that later.
It's one of the few forms of entertainment pastimes I have now trying to dissect their game, which goes especially well with my NPC signal of watching Marvel. Dude,
NPC signaling is very important. I cannot wait to redo NPC signaling for the year 2021. Oh man, dude, I got 6 streaming services. I'm a master.
It's one of the few forms of entertainment pastimes I have now trying to dissect their game, which goes especially well with my NPC signal of watching Marvel. Thank you for your mini breakdown, BTW.
No problem.
It inspired me to go further with it. If you don't mind.
Oh yeah, dude, there's a lot in Marvel. Like a Marvel. I mean, I never talked about Marvel, but I did mention about the Infinity War of Thanos. He's purple. He's supposed to represent Saturn, which is why they fight on Titan anyways. If you pay attention to Scarlett Johansson, she was the one who had to be sacrificed. They were sacrificing the feminine axis upon the Deathway area for Red Skull. I mean, there's a lot to Marvel. So, Like, they were hinting at it the whole goddamn time, especially in Captain America Winter Soldier. So, like, a lot of stuff's happened, but even then, it was the responsibility of the true community to break this down. But they never did. Because, look, I hate to break it to you, these people, they're full of shit, so.
If you don't mind,
Yes.
I'd like to give my own little breakdown to see if I'm on the right track.
Let's go.
I think Iron Man represents the masculine axis.
Because he's red, but be aware his colors represents China, because it's red and gold. He represents the masculine axis of America, really. The Uncle Sam. You should view him as Uncle Sam. The psychopathic, preemptive strike from the Bush era. He also represents the Neo-Man, the man that is of iron and flesh. He's like the new American, all right?
I think Iron Man
this would have been like post-World War II American, or post-World War I, really, when they replaced Columbia. So
I think Iron Man represents the masculine axis. Iron equals Mars/root.
Yep, that's true. That's very good. Iron is Mars. He represents Mars, like martial action.
I think Iron...
And he also, that's why he's with machines. He represents Ahriman. Ahriman is about cleverness, about machine-like thinking.
I think Iron Man represents the masculine axis. Iron equals
Ding, ding, ding.
Mars/root.
High IQ.
He's all about sex and power and security, etc.
He's like this, he's basically the masculinity that these Gen X people like try to exude. Like, look at how manly I am. Look at all my muscles, and I have the nice car, and I attract all the women's, and I act like the biggest, strongest gorilla in the room. And look at how awesome I am, because I'm like these Gen X. Like get the fuck out of here. Like, come on,
Whereas
man.
Captain America represents the feminine axis.
Yes, that's very true, because he's blue. He represents the feminine axis of America as Columbia, one who is true, who is a reflective, emotional, and does the right thing, what is morally correct, intuitively correct.
Whereas Captain America represents...
He represents, correct. Look, Iron Man's all about action. So, I mean, Captain America, he's about reaction, really.
Whereas Captain America represents the feminine axis, blue, he's got heart,
That's
intuition/strategy,
Yep.
he's kinda the voice of America/throat chakra, etc.
Yep, so he's Columbia, and Tony Stark is Uncle Sam.
Whereas Captain America represents the feminine axis, blue, he's got heart, intuition/strategy, he's kinda the voice of America/throat chakra, etc. They actually show the feminine conquering the masculine, Cap vs Iron Man, in Civil War, giving you a hint at one answer, while at the same time showing the downfall of the Christian patriot truthers, who are associated with Iron Man's red/gold, Trump/MAGA hats.
They were doing to take both axes down. I mean, this would have been like the destruction of the two pillars, like in Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers. I mean, the pillar of one pillar is of Mars, the other one is of Venus. This is also the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, of the red and blue. So that's the fight against the formation of the one, which is the purple. So, I mean, this is also true. So
They actually show the feminine conquering the masculine, Cap vs Iron Man, in Civil War, giving you a hint at one answer, while at the same time showing the downfall of the Christian patriot truthers, who are associated with Iron Man's red/gold, Trump.
Also be aware that Captain America represents the fall of the old America, like the 1950s, 1960s, TradCon stuff. And even when it comes to Tony Stark, his downfall is the fall of the Neo, like the neocon America. And then what we're moving into is the current future, which is the AI Jarvis stuff. So
they actually show the feminine conquering the masculine, Cap vs Iron Man, in Civil War, giving you a hint at one answer, while at the same time showing the downfall of the Christian patriot truthers, who are associated with Iron Man's red/gold, Trump/MAGA hats.
Oh, well, be aware though, like El Presidente Mr. T wore two ties, one for red and one for blue. He was a two-faced Mr. Gemini, the god Janus, very distinct. All right, I mean, you should be very aware that guy was a goddamn Pied Piper. You want to talk about the goddamn lockdown? I mean, look, man, lock her up. We're in this together to get her. They told you in 2016 what they were going to do. It's just that people weren't paying attention. All right, but now that it's happened, we can see clearly what they were hinting at.
They actually showed.
Like, goddamn, this motherfucker. Like, I'm sorry, but the Christian Patriot Truthers voted for him, and then, but whatever, dude. I mean, look, I could talk about this all day, but whatever, dude. I mean, look, personally, I have my own personal opinions because I almost got jumped. All right, during the lockdown, I had to put water and toilet paper out, and like 4 white kids tried to jump me just because of my race, because of what El Presidente Mr. T said about the Chinese. It's goddamn ridiculous. So
they actually show the feminine conquering the masculine, Cap vs Iron Man, in Civil War, giving you a hint at one answer, while at the same time showing the downfall of the Christian Patriot Truthers, who are associated with Iron Man's red/gold, Trump/MAGA hats. The gold signifies the enlightenment they had ample opportunities to achieve, and like Iron Man are obsessed with security and power.
That's very good.
The gold signifies the enlightenment they had ample opportunities to achieve, and like Iron Man are obsessed with security and power, Second Amendment, sovereignty, patriots, and also were conquered by the feminine/blue/Democrats in 2020.
Yeah, that's very true. You're very correct. This is the same downfall as Rome. The repeat of America is the repeat of Rome, really. I mean, Rome built its empire through conquest, and its fall came because of its conquest. It couldn't maintain empire. I mean, right now, if we're talking about, what's happening right now, we're in the looting phase, which is why they keep putting these bill proposals. I mean, a lot of what's being happening right now is the looting of Rome. Right, but whatever, dude.
The gold signifies the enlightenment they had ample opportunities to achieve,
yes,
and
you
like
have leveled
Iron
up.
Man are obsessed with security and power, Second Amendment, sovereignty, patriots, and also were conquered by the...
Yeah, dude, Second Amendment is a goddamn cope. Alright, once I realized what was really going on, I turned over my... what the hell did I have? Remington 870. I didn't give a shit, alright? Look, I realized where things are going. It's a liability. Alright.
The gold signifies the enlightenment they had ample opportunities to...
I mean, that was a nice bang bang device, though. It was a nice shotgun. So. Oh. God damn it. Alright.
The gold signifies the enlightenment they had ample opportunities to achieve, and like Iron Man are obsessed with security and power.
Yeah, they didn't do shit. Alright. They just talked big game.
The gold signifies the enlightenment they had ample opportunities to achieve, and like Iron Man are obsessed with security and power, Second Amendment, sovereignty, patriots, and also were conquered by the feminine/blue/Democrats in 2020.
Yep.
Both in the polls and ideologically on a societal scale.
Yes, this is very true. Look, these, the TradCon, white Christian Patriot Truthers, they are actually in a bubble, and they don't realize what their minority stake in society really is. All right, we're talking about the entire aggregate of the country. I mean, look, we're in a democracy, so only 51% has conquered the other, but they're closer towards the 20 to 30%. All right, not what they really think that their numbers are. It's because the new wave demographic will always be conquered by the blue because of technology and social media. They lose in this front because they never bothered. I mean, this is the problem with collectivism versus individualism anyways, because the right believes in individuality, the left believes in collectivity, and it's easier to promise gibs and free stuff than teaching people self-responsibility. Like, I incorporated both to get the best of the red and the blue to reach the purple state of mastery and transcend that into the pink. But no one looks at it from a very nuanced point of view, or taking the middle path to reach the gold, right?
Both in the polls and ideologically on a societal scale.
Yep.
Consensus gentium and all that.
Consensus, yes.
Not to mention...
Oh, that's why consensus gentium is very important, right? I did not think of the word consensus gentium, alright? Something whispered in my ear, I think it was a goddamn astral being or whatever, dude. And then I checked it up later, and it's synced up with Philip K. Dick, because he mentioned consensus gentium in that breakdown I did, alright? This is a very important rule, which is why democracy is dangerous. all it takes is 51% to determine, you know, the NPC signal, all right, that goes out to everybody else. And this domination factor happens gradually and incrementally. And, you know, it really is dependent upon the irate louche that the persuasive minority projects. So this is pretty obvious at this point, which is why the book, you know, what is it, Saul Alinsky's Rule to Radicals, is very important. So
not to mention
that would be the propagation of Uranian ideas. I mean, that's why that book itself is dedicated to Lucifer. So, like, I heard, you know, a lot of, you know, the Christian Patriot Truth is talking about it a lot, because that's what Hillary followed. And now I would like to read that book just to see what it's about. So,
not to mention,
like, you know, I do not discount what is going on. I try to look at it from both sides, but I always look at the viewpoint of who's winning hand over fist, and that is the Not Nilk. Not Nilk always wins. They've been winning for like 40,000 years, all right?
Not to mention how he later sacrifices himself for everyone in Endgame, which reminded me how you mentioned the boomers are going to be sacrificed to build out their new system.
Yep, the boomers and the TradCon white Christian Patriot Truthers. They're the ones going to be sacrificed. But even if we talk about the sacrifice of itself, or we're talking about the subconscious messages being sent in Marvel, the sacrifice, like Tony Stark was like the sacrifice of Jesus, but inverting that with the Neo Man, the Iron Man, and at the same time, the Captain America chose a selfish decision to go back and spend time with Peggy Hill when he could have spent the time rebuilding when Iron Man was gone, but now he's already an old man. So then you had the inversion of sacrifice. This was to basically screw both sides. All right, so it's very important to recognize this.
Not to mention how he later sacrifices himself for everyone in Endgame, which reminded me how you mentioned the boomers are going to be sacrificed to build out their new system.
Yep.
Anyways, this...
But you also have to pay attention to Thanos. Thanos wanted... he was the idea of the Malthusian concept. He had, because we live in a scarcity-based model, even though we could live in a post-scarcity world like Star Trek if we wanted to, but the controls at the top will never allow it, not giving people free energy or money on resources, which we could officiate. I mean, this is talked about by Buckminster Fuller. So basically, that's why Thanos wanted to take out half. Like, he wants to take out half of everything, resources, people, etc. And he represents Saturn, restriction, to lead to paradise, like the paradise of Kronos during the Golden Age, which happens after a planet is culled. So,
anyways, this stuff is just wildly entertaining to me, and honestly I could totally see why working directly for the Notnal might be
Alright, my dudes, you know the drill. It is, what time is it? 4:30 a.m. and I got Agent Smith. So now I gotta start over from whatever part I was stopping at. Like, look, dude, I must be the only person in the world who can get Agent Smith like this. This is goddamn insanity. This is like one of the main reasons why I hate making videos. Like, you have no idea how many times I get interrupted.
Anyways, this stuff is just wildly entertaining to me, and honestly
Look, it is very fascinating. I will admit that. So.
Anyways, this stuff is just wildly entertaining to me, and honestly I could totally see why working directly for the Notnal might be enticing for some.
Yeah, probably is pretty fun, so.
Anyways, this
look, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, I'm just on, look, I'm on no one's side. I'm just watching the clown show, because I'm just on the middle path. I got my own shit to do.
Anyways, this stuff is just wildly entertaining to me, and honestly I could totally see why working directly for the Notnal might be enticing for some. I, however, am ready to move on and chill out.
Thank God, so we got an OG who's moved on, right?
I, however, am ready to move on and chill out. Move on from the screen analysis.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people cannot move on from the screen analysis. Even a lot of the stuff that I talk about, even if it is screen analysis, it means nothing to me. If you've been on my channel, like, I do not care about the screen analysis. I don't care about taking the magical elixir. I do not care about, you know, meeting my maker, or going to Minecraft land, or meeting the Lords of Karma. I don't care. All right, a lot of the stuff that I do is just for merely the entertainment of the audience at this point. Like I'll do a lot of things that I personally don't care about if the audience demands for it, like astrology, talking about the Voldemort disease, magical elixir, blah blah blah. I mean, to me, I mean, it's just more of fascination. But if people have been on my channel long enough, they know I personally do not care about anything except the game of Dharma stuff.
However,
and Disney Realm.
However, am ready to move on and chill out, move on from the screen analysis, even if I'm at a point where I can sift through the baloney and recognize some of the true answers they give you.
Yeah, but they always give it. Well, yeah, well, okay, then you're good. You're not chasing the rabbit chase. So.
However, am ready to move on and chill out, move on from the screen analysis, even if I'm at a point where I can sift through the baloney and recognize some of the true answers they give you. Move on from looking at all this, at your channel. Ready to move on from this life and from the—
Yeah, dude, look, I will always say this. Like, I'm thankful for you, Luigi, for giving me all the shekels that you did. But I would rather you move on and, chill out for the rest of your life. And find out what you got to do for yourself and do it. I know that a lot of people will always support me to keep me going as long as I can, because I got to be really honest. My time on here is limited. I keep staying longer than I should just because maybe there's going to be another lockdown. But to me, the longer I stay here, the more detrimental it is. But I'm always willing to help people. Like I'm glad I stayed longer because I got to help people personally. So
ready to move on from this life and from these realms. I'm almost certain I'm either done with or doing exactly what I need to do for myself. And the only things keeping me on your channel is the possibility of more clarification of these topics to make sure I know what I'm doing.
More clarification, I mean, that'd be more videos, like, I'm trying to think of what videos. Yeah, that'd be like the rules of the game of Dharma, using the tarot, the complete NPC theory that I slated to do but never got around to it, the Disney Realm model of the universe. There are things that would be useful or relevant for me to do, but you guys understand from my perspective, the reason why I haven't really talked about certain topics is because of the Caesarship. But I am trying to move this channel along after my private request. So, like, I got astrology to do, and I'll do more stuff for the reboot if you want to stay. But if not, I mean, just chill out and move on. I've actually told you the basics, the fundamentals, everything you need to move on anyways. Like but some people, they just need me to tell them straight to their face what to do. So.
And the only things keeping me on your channel is the possibility of more clarification of these topics to make sure I know what I'm doing, even though I'm sure I got all the important stuff already.
Yeah, personally, I think you're good.
Funnily enough, the astrology video to see if there's...
Yeah, look, I mean, look, you're good. All right, look, a lot of people moved on from my channel. I want to say Tien, Aline, maybe Pile. Those are notable people that are like my OGs. It's not a big deal, so...
And funnily enough,
like, I don't want you to be forced to watch my content just because you are compelled to, right? Like, I understand what that's like, right? I still watch, Matt every day, so.
And funnily enough, the astrology video to see if there's anything else I need to work on. I'm mainly interested in what the Ascendant/Midheavens/Nodes have to say about my objective.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's easy, so.
And funnily enough, the astrology video to see if there's anything else I need to work on. I'm mainly interested in what the Ascendant/Midheavens/Nodes have to say about my objectives here, not so much what it has to say about my ego.
Your ego is only one facet of your astrology chart. Your ego is only relevant to that of the, I would say, the sun consciousness aspect of your chart. I mean, look, your ascendancy is your PR, your front guy. Your what is it? Your ego, your CEO is the sun, or your moon is the board of directors. Like, I actually use a corporate model to make it very simple for people to understand. Like, I've done astrology charts for people before in a very quick way with like Pamela and Vanessa, but I'll show you mine this weekend probably. To me, it's not a big deal. I do believe that people complicate it way too much. So, but it's very useful. So.
BTW, I haven't given you my astrology chart to do because I felt bad that you've...
Wait, I thought you did.
BTW, I haven't given you my astrology chart to do because I felt bad that you've given me so many answers already.
Yeah, dude, just use Mastering the Zodiac. Look, once I do my own chart, you can do your own chart of Mastering the Zodiac and copy my template. But a lot of people want me to do it for them so that they can, so that they don't have to do the research for themselves.
BTW, I haven't given you my astrology chart to do because I felt bad that you've given me so many answers already. I felt like I needed to do something on my own, lol. Anyways, sorry for the rant.
I know, dude, astrology is a goddamn mind scrub for me. I went through 8 Western astrology books, 2 Vedic astrology books, and then 1 more accurate source from the 1900s.
Anyways, sorry for the rant. Just thought you'd like to know where I'm at.
No, dude, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that OG phone home and go home. To me, it's not that big of a deal. Like, look, I want to say this again, right? I'm not like the other true content creators. I'm not here to get you stuck on the hamster wheel of the ship of insanity, all right? Like, I want you to build your own, your own spaceship, right? And fill it with your own loosh, and then go wherever you want to go, right? Unless you want to tag along with me. It's not that big of a deal. Like I always say, it's not that big of a deal.
Anyways, sorry for the rant. Just thought you'd like to know where I'm at. I know I don't really engage much anymore, and that's...
Dude, don't worry. A lot of people don't engage for their own reasons, right? Especially with the topics that I talk about. So it's personally not that big of a deal. People always they email me saying that even though I do not engage with your channel or comment, be aware that I watch your video like 2-3 times always. It's not that big of a deal, though.
I know I don't really engage.
Like before, I didn't know what to do because maybe I would get 2 or 3 comments, but now I have a general idea of what to do.
I know I don't really engage much anymore, and that's mainly just because I haven't much else to say or do.
That's good. That means that you have no questions to ask, which means you are ready to move on. Because you've been on my channel since the beginning, really. So
I know I don't really engage much anymore, and that's...
Yeah, you were probably around you were probably around the 40th subscriber, I think.
I know I don't really engage much anymore, and that's mainly just because I haven't much else to say or do.
Yeah, don't worry about it, bro.
I've got mostly all the important info I need for my journey out of here, and honestly sometimes it feels like the more you dive into some of the deeper topics, the more... I've got mostly all the important info I need.
Yeah, that's pretty true. The only thing I would suggest if you want to stay for is when I do the rules of the game of Dharma. The rules of the game of Dharma using the tarot card deck. That's really the only important video that I should do before I bounce or nuke my channel. So
I've got most.
But I mean that might not be done for a while because I'm so far backed up on content.
I've got mostly all the important info I need for my journey out of here, and honestly sometimes it feels like the more you dive into some of the deeper topics, the more it just feels like screen chasing, tbh.
Oh, that's true. That's why I canceled the Rudolf Steiner's assignment, like life, death, rebirth, the paradigm between rebirth. It is the westernization version of this idea of the cycling incarnations through the Eastern stuff, the transmigration of the soul. I've canceled. I make it very clear that I try not to go into fascination topics. A lot of people try to steer me in that direction, but then I always have to recorrect myself and point them back to SQS. Like a lot of people want to talk about the astral travel stuff, out of body experience stuff, what happens after death stuff. If you simply focus on what you have to do for yourself, do it, make your own loose sandwich and eat it, then you're good automatically. But you should be aware of some of the things that can or cannot happen in the interim phase between life and death, and that's really it. And the rules of the game of Dharma, the objective of the game, and how to play it. Like a lot of the stuff that you hear me talking of, the deep stuff, which I'm very aware of. I know everything when it comes to the quote-unquote esoteric occult, just because I have the mind to understand it. But a lot of that stuff, it is simply too out there or detail intensive. So, or you need a strong fundamental basis knowledge to really get what I'm saying.
I've got mostly all the important info I need.
Like you're interested in sacred geometry. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So
I've got mostly all the important info I need for my journey out of here, and honestly sometimes it feels like the more you dive into some of the deeper topics, the more it just feels like screen chasing, tbh.
Yeah, that's
to
true.
Me at least.
I agree.
I'm sure others need that information more than I do, and I don't expect you to dial it back by any means.
Oh, I try to keep a balance, so.
Again, thank you so much for everything you've done for all of us.
Don't worry about it.
I am unspeakably grateful knowing I'm on my way out of this place for good.
That's good.
P.S. One other hobby of mine that I picked up recently was geometry and math.
Yep.
I was kind of a whiz kid.
Okay, sacred geometry and math, that's good.
I was kind of a whiz kid.
I mean, it's actually useful once you understand esoteric sciences.
I was kind of a whiz kid, a bit of a prodigy almost, all throughout school, but oddly enough never got into sacred geometry and all that. I know I'm probably the only one on your channel actually interested in this stuff, nerd.
That's not true. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of Masons watching my channel these days. Jesus Christ.
I know I'm...
Because, look, sacred geometry is more Pythagorean mystery school stuff, which is why I said from the beginning, if I keep making a channel, it's going to turn to secret society. I have to teach you guys Pythagorean mystery school stuff, like a geometry. Because geometry is incredibly useful. The stuff that you learn in the beginning of Lodge Boy School, it doesn't pay off until in the astral state or the post-death state.
I know I'm probably the only one on your channel actually interested in this stuff, nerd. So unfortunately I don't think I'll ever expect a video breakdown, but I was wondering if you had any books or other materials on the subject you could recommend.
Sacred geometry?
I'm really interested in why the secret club boyos study it.
Okay, then you should go through, well, first of all, you should be going through the classical books. What is that? The Quadrivium? The Trivium. I call it the Septivium. You can also go through the book Scientia and the book The Signia. But if you are into the component construction when it comes to graphic arts, I mean, you learn that automatically. That's what we call the Vitruvius method, the Lodge Boy Society, which is based on intuitive geometry. So this would be based on color spectrum. It would also be based on aspect of the golden ratio. You understand the relationship between pi, the natural quintessence of the square, the circle, and the triangle, which is indicative in the square and compass. If you want to take it into the physical world, I would highly recommend looking at Buckminster Fuller's theories and concepts of like polytopic theories, like this idea of the geodesic dome, or why the smallest polytope that can encapsulate a circle is a triangle, and it's presented in 3D modeling programs. Like, I'm very aware of geometry. It's very important, but it just seems useless in the beginning. But it really reshapes your mind, especially when you get into Pythagorean mystery school stuff, and you learn numbering systems. Like there's like the idea that 9 is completion number, 10 is the perfect number. You can use the hexadecimal system, which is what computers use, which is in direct correlation to the tubulin diameters in your brain. For example, the hexadecimal for FFFFF is 65,536, which is the exact number of the amount of tubulin diameters within the human brain, which is the mapping of the microcosm of the universe. So if you can project out certain numbers with certain master numbers and relate it back to certain degree numbers, that's why degrees are important. They're always obsessed with degrees, like even in the Kabbalah. But I try not to talk about it because it's too complicated. Like I can't really find people who are interested in this nerdy math shit. So
I'm really interested in why the secret club boyos study it. And
for example, the Sephiroth tree is the unfolding of the Tesseract, which is the model of the local universality in this physical world that we are in, this Earth realm bubble. So, I mean, that's why the Kabbalah is also important. But even that is the projection model of the tree of life.
I'm really interested in why the secret club boyos study it and how it relates to us both inside and outside this Bavarakakra realm.
Well, they have to know it for when they navigate through the astral plane. If you are aware of Emerald Tablets of Thoth, it says, do not move in, harsh angles, for that's when these beings sit there and try to coax you or manipulate you through the astral. You want to move in curves, or you want to move in certain angularities, not 90 degrees. That's a challenge. It's a square in astrology. You want to go through the trines, or you want to go through the circular curving or the sextiles based off degrees. I mean, this is why they are obsessed with degrees. It's very important once you become a light fairy being. I mean, if you want to go that far, but even they don't believe it until they actually hit a certain degree mark where they can experience this in the out-of-body experience or the astral form, where they learn through the interpretations of what they learn from the invisible masters. Even when I talk about this, I mean, no one's going to goddamn believe me, so there's really no point in just discussing this.
I'm really interested in why the secret club boyos study it and how it relates to us both inside and outside this Bavarakakra realm. Thanks again, Pink.
Yeah, no problem. In terms of its relationship in the Baba Chakra realm, it's really for the navigation and transportation through the realms of the Stargates anyways. It's very apparent in books like the Emerald Tablets of Thoth and Tibetan Book of the Dead, when they talk through the bardos of the Starlight Gate. It's slightly mentioned in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, but that already has a natural automatic ride process. Okay, so that is to my boy Luigi. Yay, to me, Luigi. Everyone knows who this is. Okay, but here, someone who's an OG has pretty much moved on. I've had a lot of people move on. I'm very happy when you move on. My channel, look, even though, you know, I'm happy if you move on, I always say I'd rather you keep your shekels and improve your life. But my channel is dependent on donation shekels. But if you're going to ask me which one would I pick, shekels or you moving on from my channel, I'm always going to say moving on. Like I'm so very happy that Tien and Aline it moved on. Maybe Pal pretty much moved on, even though he'll stick around for a little bit, but a lot of people moved on. It's not that big of a deal. I'm on my third group of people I'm assisting right now. I could be here for a while, because if they do another, lockdown, I'll be here. Jesus Christ. Okay, and then I have one more from an anonymous person who I shall not name her. Okay, but this is the reason why I stay, because if I didn't stay for the third group of people, I would have never helped this woman, who I shall not name because I didn't ask her permission to post this part of the email she sent me. Look, a lot of people send me emails thanking me, so.
Those three, I had Matt to keep me on the loop of insanity.
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite ride. the ship of insanity on Quantum of Consciousness Love Vote.
Those three, I had Matt to keep me on the loop of insanity.
Yeah, go Matt.
Towards the end, Vanessa to wrap me up in a nice warm blankie to rock me to sleep and Lavette to stimulate.
Yeah, Vanessa. Oh my god, her. So it's the all is love. Hey guys, it's me, Vanessa VA. Have you ever looked at clouds and where are the clouds? Oh my god. That was great. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt, for the recommendation. My god. Out of all the recommendations, that's the one I'm most happy for. Far more happier than Lavette.
Towards the end, Vanessa to wrap me up in a nice warm blankie to rock me to sleep and Lavette to stimulate my mind with learning, though I had been waiting for a year of the higher level stuff with her website that...
Higher level stuff? She was going to make a website? I don't think she's ever going to do higher level stuff.
Towards the end, Vanessa to wrap me up in a nice warm blankie to rock me to sleep and Lavette to stimulate my mind with learning, though I had been waiting for a year of the higher level stuff with her website that never came.
Yeah, well, it's because the higher level stuff is actually very technical. I would say you need to understand. I was surprised that Lavette didn't understand the rainbow thing and the bending of the light or basic light spectrum chemistry. So, but I mean, she only got her knowledge through occultic books. But I would say that even her understanding, compared to mine, is that of an adept. All right, I'm like a real master. I'm like a clairvoyant or someone who's incarnated several times and can remember the state I was before I was born in my previous life states and blah 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 blah. So
never came.
If you believe in these things, all right. If you believe in these things, this stuff is too fairy tale for anyone to take seriously.
Never came. Once I subbed you, I unsubbed to the last three I was listening to, and you probably know how much that helped save me from my doom.
I know, but that's why they all hate me. As soon as people find my channel, they unsub from everybody else because they realize that I basically just tell you straight to your face what the answer is.
Never came. Once I subbed you, I unsubbed to the last three I was listening to, and you probably know how much that helped save me from my doom.
Don't worry.
I have no regrets on how I got here, nor the people that did.
I always complain that I have to stay here longer to help people, but I'm glad I stayed longer to help this person, or else she would have been lost for the rest of her life. A lot of people tell me if they didn't find my channel, they would be like a Truth or Karen or Truth or Mark in pure depression quest, in doomer sky is falling, right, waiting for a savior to come, when it's very obvious what's happening.
I have no regrets on how I got here, nor the people that did help me along the way, even with giving and then taking it away, because regardless it has led me to you. Thank you forever, Pink.
Don't worry about it, and that is one of my many satisfied subscribers. Look, I wanted to make this video to demonstrate to people people who I've helped and who are ready to move on. A lot of people are here to stay out of condolences, or they want to wait for other videos that I have in mind or planned, like the astrology breakdowns for people's personal charts, the game of Dharma, the rules of the game of Dharma through the tarot, through the proper interpretations, my complete NPC theory, Disney realm stuff I should have done a while ago, but I'm simply too backed, but I do have a proper schedule. Alright, so look, man, look, I'm very happy if people move on. I'm trying to rebrand because of the censorship. This channel is supported and funded by all the donations and shekels that I get on my channel for the time being, and I'll try to be here as long as I can be. All right, but we got a lot of work to do. If you care, if not, I highly recommend you bounce and just chill out. Okay, guys, this has gone on long enough. I got stuff to do. I'll see you guys on the weekend, maybe. All right. Wait. Oh wait, that Ariana Grande Fortnite concert's on Saturday. Okay, yeah, but I should still see you on the weekend. All right, bye guys.